Hello.
Ahí está, saludos, ¿cómo están? ¿Bien? Welcome to you all to this special evening on behalf of Pavan Agarwal and the Sunwest Mortgage Company. So let's welcome to see what the exciting future holds for the Sunwest Company, Pavan Agarwal from the Sunwest Mortgage Company. Oh, a big round of applause.
That music got me pumped. And you got me pumped.
Yeah, that's awesome. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great.
Excited?
Yes, super excited.
I've been hearing about this. This has been kept a secret, like really tightly.
Yes.
It's a top secret thing.
Yes.
How do you do it? Because I know you have a lot of people working for you and working in this project, and to keep something top secret is a challenge.
We hire CIA assassins.
Great. So this has to do, as we were talking about people and technology, it has to do of how we combine those into perfection, right?
That's correct.
And how you, as a person, see how much technology can help us develop our lives, develop our quality of life.
That's a good question. So let me start by giving you a little history of how we got here.
Right.
And then I will also explain the ballerina.
Great.
So a little bit about Sunwest for those who don't know. The company started 41 years ago. My father, 1980, started the company as a real estate broker. And as a real estate broker, when interest rates were 18, 20%, and the only way you can afford a loan was through negative amortization, FHA loans, he said there has to be a better way. There has to be a better way to help families, to get them into homes. So he started Sunwest. And he handcrafted mortgages, one family at a time, one loan at a time. He's a true craftsman. And then I actually got involved in the business at a very young age. I got involved in the business actually with my mom in the real estate business. She would have a farm area. She would go door knocking every weekend. And every realtor that's in here knows all about farming and door knocking. And it was like that, people to people, person to person. That's how you build a business, any business. Especially this business that is all about the person's entire, for most people, it's your entire life savings. It's your largest asset, your greatest investment. It is very human, very personal. From there, I spent my teenage years developing technology, built out the back-end systems for Sunwest. And as I grew up, I then started originating loans. I spent the next 10 plus years originating loans. And as I originated loans and my technology background, it kept like, how do we use technology to make the loan origination process more comfortable, less stressful, more empathetic? And that's what, after all these years of working with technology, building this technology company, today I'm going to show you the pinnacle of this achievement. And that's called Morgan.
Round of applause. Morgan is brand new, and that's what we're celebrating today. Congratulations for Morgan.
This is the Unveiling world premiere of Morgan. It's been developed, most of it, tons of great ideas right here in Puerto Rico, Puerto Rican hands. People in California, people in India, people in the Philippines, people in Europe. A worldwide effort to develop this product. And it's been a massive team over years and years and years of hard work. The ballerina, the logo represents, is the genius, your spirit. Let it come out. let it dance, and beautiful things, amazing things will be created. And you will see one such amazing creation today.
Also with the precision, right, that a ballerina has to have, because she has to look like she's being effortless, but there's a big effort behind what she's doing.
Can you show us some of that precision? You're a professional ballerina.
It's been a long time. I can do the split, but my pants will rip off also, so let's leave it at that. I assume you have a presentation, so you can take us throughout the history of how did you make this Morgan empathetic technology. So do we give it a start?
Let's give it a start.
Okay, rock and roll.
So, empathetic technology. What is empathetic technology? It's been in the lab for years. Engineers and scientists have been trying to figure out how to use AI, how to have AI understand you, understand your feeling, understand your needs, and be responsive to you. So empathetic technology is a true connection. What is a true connection? Every single one of Sunwest loan officers know what a true connection is. They make that true connection when they sit down with one of their clients and help them with their financing needs. At that moment, they stop the world for that client. That's a true connection. They deliver a service. They represent Sunwest. They deliver a loan experience that's never second best. That's a true connection. That's Sunwest. That's our professional sales team. That's our professional operations team. That's our professional engineering team. And we created a professional product that brings all of these qualities of family, of respect, of service to one single focal point. So with that said, let's get into the product. Okay, so I'm going to start the product demonstration with a scenario that's happened to many of our agents. Often happens, you get a realtor. A realtor calls you and says, let's say, where is my closing? What's going to happen to my closing tomorrow? So my realtor calls me. My realtor's name is Rick. He calls me and he says, what about my closing tomorrow? And oh my God, my realtor's calling me and I'm on stage and I got to deal with my realtor. How do I do it? Well, let's do it right now. Let me show you how quick and easy it is to answer and solve whatever may come your way using Morgan. So let's start. Let's log into Morgan. Okay. Tell Morgan my name. Did I spell my name right? I'm not sure. So I have a problem. I need to ask Morgan about my my realtor's inquiry. I make typos. Morgan is tolerant. Morgan understands. Morgan's responsive. Morgan understands that I have an urgent need. So I'm going to tell Morgan about my situation. So I tell Morgan about a closing. File name is Jones. That's closing tomorrow. Morgan has my name. Morgan looked in the database and has confirmed that all my loans close in time. So already reassured me based on my past history. Relax. It's going to be okay. Take a deep breath. Everything's going to be fine. Now Morgan is about to get into personal information, look at loan data, and communicate consumer confidential data with me. So now Morgan is going to ask me for my credentials. So the first thing Morgan does is start by saying, how can I help you? And then when it's time, when it's helped me, it's already got my stress level down a little bit. It's told me to relax, everything's going to be okay. Now it's time to confirm that I am who I am. So, because so far I've only said my name. It doesn't know for sure who I am. So now I will authenticate. Simple, straightforward authentication. I give it my password. I'm in. Now this is the magic. Morgan triangulated the loan number based on the information I'd already given it. Morgan knew who I was. I'm the loan officer. Morgan knew the name was Jones. Morgan knew it was closing tomorrow. With those three pieces of information, it intuitively figured out what the loan is in the database and gave back the loan number. Now, obviously, I had to authenticate before it was going to give me the loan number first, so that's why it went through the authentication. Okay. So Morgan also looked up the loan status from the database, put the pieces together. Now you could do this on any mobile device. You could be in the middle of dinner, talking to a group of people, whatever, and it's doing it because it's proactive. So yes, Morgan, please update my realtor about the status. It pulled up my realtor's information, his phone number from the database. Morgan sent an SMS to my realtor for me with the same status that it just gave me. So my realtor received the SMS, hit reply, Morgan receives it, and it forwards to me, all happening on one interface, one application. Let's see what other tricks Morgan has up her sleeves. Yes, Morgan. Let's reply. So Morgan will understand that message and send that text message to Rick. All from one portal. Morgan can assume how Rick is feeling now based on the SMS that Rick sent back. And Morgan says, I hope you're feeling good too. And now I'm curious, Morgan, is that just a greeting card message? Or do you really care, Morgan? Right? So, Morgan, do you actually care how I feel? Let's see what Morgan says. Of course she does. And she's showing how she cares. She has actually been tracking what my emotional state has been through the whole conversation. So each conversation, each message, each conversation, each message is understood, tracked, and interpreted. So Morgan changes her response to me based on my mood. So now that you got a little bit of peek under Morgan, we did one example of an on-the-spot issue, an on-the-spot problem. Now, let's do another situation. Now, Rick is really happy. And Rick is so happy, he sent me another client. And I'm right here, right now, with another client, and the client just bought me a stack of bank statements and pay stubs and all this good stuff. And I'm like, okay, I got to take this loan app, but I also have to be on stage and help you guys. So let's do this quickly. Let's do it all together. Okay, so Morgan, can you help me take this loan application? So let's take the new loan application. I'm going to tell Morgan a little bit about what's happening. So we're going to create a new application. Borrower's first name. Jane Doe. I know there's a lot of questions taking one application, but we're almost over. A few more questions. And if you notice, there's these green bars, and on the circle, it tells us how far we have gone. So we're about 3/4 of the way through of taking a new loan application, all in the last few minutes. So Morgan knows that most of my loans are in Orange County, California, and so assumed that this loan is in Orange County as well. Now we're done asking all the questions, and Morgan's processing this information. Morgan initiated the application, generated a new loan number. And if you look at the screen on the top, is the loan number that you're currently working on. That's the object that Morgan is processing. So as you switch context and you work from loan to loan to loan, it keeps track of it and updates that loan number. Okay, so now Morgan's asking me to take pictures of the documents. And hit send, the documents get loaded, goes into the database, ready for processing. I tell Morgan this all the documents. Now, obviously, in a full loan application, there'd be more, so you can there's no limit how many you can send. Morgan is proactive. It double checks. Is there anything else I should know? I think I forgot something. Jane Doe is a veteran. So Morgan asked, "Does this be a VA loan?" Morgan's smart. It's really smart. Hey, guess what? The VA loan, you can do it with the 0 down. You don't need 10% down. Thanks, Morgan. I forgot that. Let's do the 0 down VA loan. That's the best deal for the borrower. At this point, your application is complete. Morgan has all the documents it needs. It knows what type of loan you're doing. The documents will be processed through the imaging system, OCR'd. All the data will be pulled. And Sunwest will issue, what time is it right now? It's what, 6:30, 7 o'clock? 6:30 Eastern. Sunwest will issue a full approval by 8 a.m. tomorrow with the help of Morgan. That's it. Whole loan application taken. It's that easy. We're done. So, what do you think? Yeah? All right. Well, don't just take it from me. Take it from people who've been using Morgan day in, day out for the last few years. This is a new product. This is the new version of Morgan. But we've actually been using it at Sunwest for a long time. It's been under development for a long time. There's been many of our originators have been using it.
People are obsessed with, for example, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, because they're the wealthiest people in the world. And if there's something consistently that they always say is that the most valuable asset is time. In the mortgage world, if we can tell the client, if we can tell the real estate broker, if we can tell the processors, if we can tell the attorneys that we can save time, then we should use that product constantly. And I think that has been my experience with Morgan. One thing is that the main question that people ask is, do I qualify for this loan? Then the second thing is that you get a call from the realtor is, make sure this person qualifies, so I don't want to waste my time. So immediately what I do is I go to Morgan, and then I tell Morgan the client's situation. And as you can tell, I still haven't met a robot that has applied for a loan. So that means that each client is unique. So this means that you better make sure you know what questions to ask, to know what documents you need, to make sure that from the onset, you're certain and accurate that you can close that loan. And that's what happens. I've had clients that call me the classical case, 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. on a Friday, telling me I need to be pre-approved. And this is really important because pre-approved means that you have to make sure that the client qualifies, is able to repay the loan, and we have to review all the documents. So I tell Morgan, okay, Morgan, this is the client situation. Morgan tells me exactly what I need. I tell the client, I get the information, I give it to Morgan, and then within 24 hours, I have a pre-approval letter. So having that accuracy, having that certainty from the onset, and then throughout the process, if anything happens, then we can immediately address that concern and then be certain that we can close the loan. And then what happens? Then we get referrals, brokers make their commissions, and we also get paid. So I think that has been what has helped me use Morgan. So that's my experience so far.
It's really interesting that, especially for the U.S. audience that's watching this right now, we have a tremendous outreach and connection. We've always been a minority-focused lender. And how has Morgan helped you be more productive?
Well, in my case, being more productive, I'm the classic example of someone that didn't know anything about mortgages. And actually, I started with working with Pavan and with Morgan 2 years ago. And the reason why it's been so secretive is because I was in an industry. My background is I'm a licensed attorney and I was in finance. And Pavan said, you're perfect. You don't know anything about mortgages. So in working with Morgan and interviewing all the loan officers that have actually used the product, I'm like, this is too easy. It cannot be this easy to actually take a client from beginning to end. So it was so easy that I made the switch, and then I became a loan officer. So that's one thing that for me has been so resourceful, and I always use Morgan.
Very soon in the roadmap, I mean, I'm talking about the next month or so, we're going to have multi-language support from Morgan. So you could be able to talk to Morgan in any language, Spanish, English, Korean, and it will automatically translate back and forth. So when it comes to community lending, when it comes to minority lending, when it comes to like just getting out, connecting with the roots, you've got to support the language and make it that easy.
I think that Pavan's being too humble, and if you're familiar with Marvel, which I'm sure you are, he's Tony Stark. He's Tony Stark, but he's not the Iron Man. But he created Jarvis and Friday, his artificial intelligence psychics. So when he has access to those psychics, then he becomes the Iron Man. So in a way, we are all Avengers, loan officers that can use this technology. So that's the, in Puerto Rico, arroz y habichuela explanation, rice and beans of how easy and what Morgan does for us.
So a lot of exciting things coming up, Morgan. This current release is for all Sunwest originators and to our banking partners. We have some banking partners that are coming on to this platform. And very soon, in the next few months, we'll be releasing Morgan to be available to realtors directly, title companies, all of our partners, all our vendors, and then finally to consumers. And consumers can directly go on Morgan and track their entire, and communicate with Morgan, just like the way we just did, and ask simple questions. What's my loan status? All the way through closing and after closing, make their payments, find out their balance. Morgan will be integrated with our HELOC product. They can transfer money from one bank account to another. So all of these very, very exciting things on the horizon, all within the next quarter or two.
Congratulations. I like problem solving, and Morgan definitely is a problem solver, so congratulations for that. I'm amazed. How do you feel now that everything has been revealed?
Feels good. How do they feel?
How do you feel?
All right.
Awesome.